Let's go to the paragraph number 24. It's a big, but it's very interesting. Swami Virajanandaji says, if we have to be in the world at all, make God your world. Set up your home with Him. Whatever you do, see or hear, think that to be God. It is all play, a game with Him. Know life to be a game, in which Mother herself is the player, and you are her playmate. The world will be quite different when you know that Mother is playing with you. Then you will find that in this world there is neither happiness nor misery, good nor evil, attachment nor aversion, greed nor jealousy. Consequently, all delusion, self-interest, and conflict will vanish, and no pairs of opposites can torment you there. All ideas of union or separation, of friend or foe, of high and low, of I and mine, are non-existent in that play of yours with the Divine Mother. There is only inexhaustible bliss, boundless love, and infinite peace. If even a drop of that bliss is experienced, the pleasures of the worldly objects will seem contemptible. The possession of even an atom of that love will make the whole world dearer than one's dearest ones, and heavenly bliss will be felt through every pore of the body. There is no fear in that play, no anxiety, no bondage, no weariness. It is always an ever new play. And what infinite modes of play does the Mother know? Endless are the forms and ways in which she plays. One loses oneself in the very thought of it and is merged therein. In that moment of transcendental ecstasy, the play ceases. For who will then play, and with whom? That beatific experience, that state of blissful union, is beyond the reach of speech and mind. He alone knows who knows. Great fun! Oh, the great fun! So beautiful description of experience, like you read in the hymn of Samadhi that Swami Vivekananda wrote. Everything, first you consider the world is all Mother, in different forms, as friend, as those who like us, as those who do not like us. All are Mother in different forms, and all are playing, Mother's big play going on of the world drama. We are all making the drama of working, inventing, progressing, failing. All is just the drama of Divine Mother. And it's Divine Mother who has arranged all these things for me to play. And I am playing the play as arranged by the Divine Mother. It's all the Creator. God is in every form. And we enjoy the play and have no jealousy or no attraction, no pleasure or no misery. All we go beyond that. It's very high stage that Swami describes. And finally, even that play stops. It becomes one. Mother and the child become one. And there is great fun in that. The play is fun, the play ceases, that is fun. Only if we could know that it is all arranged by God, and whom we play with, everything play. The friendship is play, the choral is play, the work is play. Everything that we do is just play. To be able to have that vision is a great fun, says Swami. Oh, the great fun, he repeats again. And this all he says, speaks is his experience. That is Swami Virajananda's experience that comes through us. That state is the state of Jivan Mukti I was talking about. We want to be free while living. We don't want to wait until we have the last breath and God comes. Who knows what happens then? We have a faith that God will come. But why to wait until that? We need to have this sort of experience while we are staying in the world, moving and acting and dealing with the people. Then we need, that's the real realization of God, or moving with the God, or being with the God. Everyone we meet is a form of God, whether kind or unkind, doesn't matter. Whether helpful to us or whether giving us trouble, doesn't matter. Oh mother, you are giving me trouble. That person, that's a devotee will say, oh, you are giving me trouble, you are insulting me, you are making me problems for me. Wow, great fun. Everything will be fun for that devotee of the mother, that child of mother. That is the state of Jivan Mukti. When Shankaracharya says, Jivan Mukti Sukha Prapti Hetave Janma Dharanam. We have taken birth. The purpose of human life is that experience of that bliss, when nothing of the world touches us, nothing excites us in that way that we are blown off from our seat. Nothing makes us imbalanced. Neither excitement in victory, neither in failure. That's why in the Gita when it says, Samadukke sukhe kritva labha labho jaya jayo. He says, try to make the victory and the failure as equal to you, honor and insult as equal to you. That will come when we find this whole world is wonderful play arranged by the Divine Mother. That's what Swami Virajananda explains. If God comes to you, he says in 26, what do you want? Do you want me, or do you want to live a happy life full of name, fame, health and wealth for 100 years with wife, children and grandchildren? You will find that except perhaps for 1 in 10 million, all will eagerly pray for the later. So, whether do we want God or whether do we want to have happy life, that is the choice. So God is the happiest thing that we have to understand. It's like Sri Ramakrishna asking Narendranath, suppose you are a fly and there is a bowl of nectar there, and if you want to drink that nectar, the nectar of immortality, how will you drink? Swamiji says, Narendranath that he was. He relates later on this thing. And he says, if I'm a fly and it is full up to the brim, that I sit on the edge of the cup, bowl, and then stretch my neck and drink that nectar, nectar of immortality. Sri Ramakrishna says, why you have to sit on the edge? Why won't you jump in the nectar itself? Oh, then I will be drowned. Sri Ramakrishna said, no, it is the nectar of immortality. No one can drown in that. It's once, if tastes one thing a drop, he becomes or she becomes immortal. Like that, the concept of God, whether the concept of God has become clear to us or not. When we say, oh, there is so much of happiness and joy this world has to offer, long life, good health, lot of money, lot of fun in this world. And God, we don't know, we are not sure. Then we don't have an idea of God. God is all concentrated, because a little of God is just sprinkled in a friend, person whom we call friend, and we call loving father, and we call loving mother, or helpful spouse. All this is little of that God is there, manifesting a little of that God. And we feel, oh, this world is so nice. My wife is the best person. There is no one like my husband. Oh, I cannot live like without my child. All this God in a very, very dilute form that come from that. And God is all concentration of that love, that care, that joy. So that much idea if we have about God, then only we can go for seeking God. Otherwise this world will be just like deluding us. Sri Ramakrishna, that wonderful example of how this, in the granary, people used to keep in India in the bags, the rice used to be kept in stacks of bags. And as it was not well packed and it was not rodent free, some mice used to go and eat that rice. So the owner of the storeroom said arranged something. He made some puffed rice, mixed some molasses, and put it near those gunny bags where there were the full bagfuls of rice grains. And then this rats came, mice came, and they found that sweetened puffed rice, and whole night they had only that puffed rice, and they didn't go towards that gunny bags full of rice grains, because they found something there. And Sri Ramakrishna explains, you know what is the difference between that gunny bag, the rice, and the puffed rice? The one volume of rice makes 14 volume of puffed rice. It's so dilute, but they are happy in that. They don't know the concentrated thing. The condensed thing is there ahead. They won't go there. We are like that. When we leave God and we find all the joy, try to find all the joy in the world, that we become like the rodents who miss the nice thing, and we are happy with the diluted thing in the world. Number 30, about prayer. How to pray? He said, prayer, ritualistic worship, japa, meditation, holy company, reading of scriptures, all these comprise the way to the supreme goal. And what about prayer? What he says? Prayer does not consist in reciting a set formula that bears no fruit whatever. You must feel a real want within for what you pray. Suffer intense pain and agony so long as your prayer is unfulfilled. You have to be restless to find out the way and the means of gaining the object of your prayer, in spite of insuperable difficulties in your path, and to strive heart and soul to achieve it, as if life itself depended upon it. Only then will your prayer be answered and your heart's desire be fulfilled. Only such prayers reach the throne of the Most High. So what type of prayer should be there? It should come from the heart. As we know the example how Sri Ramakrishna prayed to Divine Mother. Mother, show me, I want to have your vision. Not just reciting some prayers that is written in the scriptures about the Divine Mother, but rubbing the face on the ground, and they went, that's useless without seeing you. Like that, if it comes from the heart, and that's the agony and the pain because of my prayers are not heard. The beautiful story of Sri Ramakrishna's prayer, that one person told, your son is very difficult to save him, a small child, and is there any way? He said, yes, there is a way. If you have some water collected from a certain constellation, and it has to be collected in the dead skull of a dead man, and then one frog has to jump, and one cobra and snake has to chase it, and the frog goes away, cobra cannot get it, and in the process, the cobra tries to catch, and in the process the poison from cobra falls into the water in that skull. So many things is to come. Now he starts praying, and he saw it is cloudy, he saw the constellation. Yes, he told Swati Nakshatra, Swati constellation. Then he goes, oh Lord, give me that, otherwise how will his sons be saved? And one after another he was praying, and one after another thing came to happen, and finally he finds a snake coming. Lord, now a frog. Where is the frog? Everything has come up. It's raining. This is the Swati constellation. And then he finds one frog coming. Lord, make this frog jump over this skull. And he's praying. How will he be praying? Because his son is almost dying, small child. And then really it jumped, and cobra chased, and the poison fell on the skull. Then he started dance. That is how the prayer has to be done. That's what Swami Virajanandaji says. Now about self-effort. Virajanandaji, in this book, you'll find mostly it is about self-effort. You have to struggle, you have to attempt, you have to achieve God realization yourself. It is not something that Guru will prepare and you will give a medicine and you will have God realization. You have to attempt yourself. You have to have self-effort. Lot of work is there. Through you has to be done. It's your own thing. So he says about self-effort, verse 31. Highest knowledge, devotion, spirituality, this can only be acquired through great self-effort. One has to struggle hard to win them. Then only do they become one's own and enduring, filling the mind with joy unspeakable. None can make a gift of these to another. Spiritual practice has to be diligently performed. Then only can realization be attained. The degree varies with the intensity of spiritual effort. What is gained without discipline or hard labor loses its gravity, is not highly valued, and does not bring happiness earned by hard struggle. That much. If we could all get illumination just sitting here without hard work, we would just lose it. We would not have that importance, that joy will not be there. So work hard and get success, and then it gives joy. There is joy in earning money, but lottery also gives joy, but not that joy which you really put effort, work hard, and have a raised salary after some time. $5,000 this time raised. Then you have greater joy. You got a lottery, and that lottery is unsustainable. Mostly you find that the thing that came without effort, it just dissipates. It goes away. It's not tenable. It's untenable and it's impermanent. Just goes away. You have to earn. Even this realization has to be earned to make it successful, permanent, and joyful. We go to number 33. Go on struggling ceaselessly. Fight like a hero. Never look back, but ever go forward. Onward to the goal. Pay not the slightest heed, whether you be exhausted, mangled, or mutilated on the way. Avi, avi, be fearless. Courage, courage. Do not allow even the thought of defeat to enter your mind. Realization of the goal, or let the body fall. Let this be your mantra. Victory or death. Let this be the stake. If you have to die, die like a hero. Only thus can the fort be stormed. This thing, like Swami Vivekananda is speaking, you see, Virajananji is saying like Swami Vivekananda, his own sannyasa guru. Number 34. Winning or self-pity, now he talks about, often we condemn ourselves and, oh, I could not do anything, I failed that, I only remember whatever wrong and mistakes you have done. You should never harp more on your mistakes and weaknesses. That won't make you successful, that's what it says. And at one place he says, never talk about your weakness to everyone. If you have any weak points, any defect you think you have, you know it, try to solve yourself. But never go on saying with everyone, Tom, Dick and Harry and you're all friends that, oh, you see, I'm so guilty, I'm so bad. That is very detrimental for your growth. You can talk that to God, who is so close to you, or to your guru, who wants only your good, but none to others. So, here it's number 34, winning or self-pity is of no use at all. I am too wretched. If you say, I am too wretched, worthless, vile and weak, I cannot do anything by myself. These are the words of the namby-pamby, the do-nothing imbeciles. Can anything be done by such people? Strive hard, be wide awake and push on. Only then will success come. Will the road come to an end if you merely sit and think, oh, the road is long and difficult? Get up, start walking, and as you proceed, the road will grow shorter. Courage, strength, hope, unexpected help will come. The path will gradually become easy and straight, and in no time you will reach the goal. Oh, the joy of the fulfillment. And they had to struggle that way. One day, it didn't become Swami Virajananji. They had to struggle whole life with this like this, with full faith. And then they become. And when there is, as it says, all the grace and support comes from on high. You see, he had the Guru, Holy Mother as the Guru, and Swami Vivekananda as the Sannyasa Guru, and all this help comes and it pushes you towards the goal. Swami Atmanandaji used to be disciple of Swami Vivekananda. He was head of our Dhaka center, and when he became old, he was in Benares, and he was quite sick, very weak, and he had 2 brahmacharis for taking his care, giving medicine and taking all the care. Somehow brahmacharis, while they were serving him, thought, oh, this Swami used to be so strong, and today you see the times, this thing, they are totally dependent on us. If we don't change his clothes or if we don't turn him, he cannot even have his medicine or food. He's totally dependent on us. Just this thought came to the brahmacharis, and somehow Swami Atmananda could have inkling of that. And he says, do you think I am totally dependent on you? You just this moment, you take this my bed and put on the road. I'll be taken care of. You are not taking my care. It is my Guru, Swami Vivekananda, who is taking care. And if you throw me on the road, he will take care of me. That much of faith, how does it come? Because he has seen in his life, whatever he was trying to do, every time the power came from Guru, the support came from the Guru in various ways. Guru doesn't have to come, but you feel it. Even Swami Baneshananda, he says, when he came to Germany, just starting the center, there was no money even to make his property suitable. So, lot of money lacking. Then he prays to Mother, what will happen? And one person, unknown, the German, and he says, oh, you want money? And gave some 20,000 euro or something. He just comes and gives us. Then he was just crying to Holy Mother. Holy Mother doesn't have to come. She works through all of us. And she really comes to support if we take one step forward. That when Sri Ramakrishna says, if we take one step towards something good work, God will come 10 steps to help you, towards you, to help you. That is not untrue at all. It comes in that way. God comes. All big works are done that way. All the works that you find are done that way. Support comes when you are that way. Now about the grace of God in number 38. But the grace of God descends only upon him who has striven his utmost, who has not spared himself, who has not let go the helm, and who has finally come to know, after many a hard struggle, that it is impossible to realize him through self-effort alone, without his grace. When the aspirant feels that he is lost in impenetrable gloom, that he is about to drown in a boundless sea, his strength utterly exhausted by his efforts to keep afloat, then and only then does the Lord lift him up with his lotus hand and take him beyond the realm of life and death, where there is endless bliss and infinite peace. The possession of even a particle of that bliss makes the jiva or individual soul feel happy beyond measure. When you start working, that's what they say is the sadhana. The sadhana or spiritual practice is not something that will make you achieve God. But after doing the spiritual practice, you understand God is not attainable by spiritual practice alone. But by His grace alone, the God realization comes. And when you understand that all I did is not enough to attain you, and you totally surrender to God, that moment God takes you on His hands. That beautiful story is there. One person was walking through the sand that many of you might be knowing. And it was, he was crossing through a desert, and he prayed to God, Lord, please give me strength, I am alone, and it's a huge desert coming. So God said, don't worry, I'll be walking with you. So God was walking, and he was happy that he felt that God is walking, and he can see on the back there were 2 pairs of footsteps on the sand. And after some time happened, there was a storm, sand storm. And then he prayed to God, Lord, please save me now, it's very difficult. Then after that, he somehow walked, went across the storm, and then he looks behind and finds only 1 pair of steps. Then he says, Lord, you forsook me when you were most needed. When I was okay, then you were with me, then I find that there are only 1 pair of steps, and when you were most needed to help me, to support me, that time you are not there. How strange. Then God says, my son, though there are only 1 pair of footsteps, see nicely, cautiously, whose steps were they? Were they your steps or my steps? When there was a storm, those are my steps, and when there was a storm, I took you on my lap. You are thinking that you are walking, but I was fully supporting you because you needed support that time. Total surrender, then God comes to rescue. There is no doubt about it. We know many mythological stories like Gajendra Moksha. Very beautiful in the story is there. One elephant, even in the animal world, one elephant was very devoted to God. And he went to drink water, and in that pool of water there lived one alligator. And as soon as the elephant went there, alligator caught hold of his leg and started pulling. In water, alligator is the most powerful. Elephant is very powerful on land. but struggled. The elephant wanted to take out and struggling a lot, and he was not able to do. Finally, he was sure to die. He was being pulled and pulled. Then he surrenders completely and prays to God, Lord, I have nothing to do. My energy is not strong enough to save myself. I need your help. Lord, please save me. He started praying that. And God comes running and protects him and brings him out. That's the story says. You strive, then you find you can do nothing. Then you pray to God and surrender fully. And when you do that, God's help will certainly come and you will be saved. That's what it is. Number 40. Whenever weakness or listlessness assails the mind, recite the following verse. Whenever you feel that you are weak, something is troubling, the verse is, I am divine and nothing else. I am Brahman the Absolute. Misery and grief cannot touch me. I am existence, knowledge, bliss. I am ever free by nature. O my mind, say Om Tat Sat Om. Asserting on our real nature is the greatest strength that can give to us. Number 42. You have read and heard enough of spiritual counsel. If you do not try to follow such counsel, even to some extent, in your daily life, no amount of it will bear any fruit. Nobody will be able to get anything done for you. You will have to do it yourself. God will help you and bestow His grace upon you if you set yourself to work in dead earnest. Even God Himself carries the burden of such one person upon His shoulders and leads him part of the way. First, self-effort, next, grace, finally, realization of the reality. Self-effort is a must. So we need to pray, read, practice spirituality, do japam, strive for meditation, try to become good, try to control ourselves. That alone is the way, and when we try that, all help comes. 45. Go on practicing japa and meditation with great devotion, perseverance and patience. Gradually the mind will become tranquil and meditation will deepen. You will feel a craving for your meditation, so that if you fail to do it any day, everything will taste insipid and you will feel out of joint and extremely uneasy, like an addict missing his drug at the accustomed hour. You will long to remain immersed in meditation alone. After saying that you have to practice, Swamiji talks something about the dream. We often have a lot of questions about the dream. Why do we dream? So when something happens, what is the meaning of the dream? What is the cause of the dream? Is dream a vegetation by when we see some holy thing, some god, some angel? Is it vegetation or imagination of our mind? Let's see what Swamiji has to say about the dream. Someone must have written to him about the good dream. Now he answers. It is very good to dream of the Guru, the chosen ideal, and of gods and goddesses. It encourages and delights the mind greatly. But do not feel unhappy or dejected if you do not often have such dreams. If you experience them, do not go about talking about them to anybody and everybody. You can tell them to your Guru if you like. Do not, however, rack your brains to find out a meaning for every part of the dream. A dream is merely a dream after all, and it is idle to expect integration and coherence right through it. That happens only in the case of adesha or direct divine commission or guidance, or of intuitive perception during absorption in meditation or in realization, the truth of which leaves no room for doubt, and the possession of which transforms the whole life of a man and makes him divine. Such an experience does not come to anybody and everybody. It depends upon long and austere sadhana or spiritual practices and upon His grace. So meaning about the dream, how we analyze the dream, no need to much bother about the dream. The utility of good dream is that you feel happy and you can put assured that my thoughts are okay. Even in dream, I see good dreams. Some are like very important dreams. When Yam comes and tells to Sri Ramakrishna, oh, I dreamt yesterday. I was drowning in the river and someone was walking on the water, on the surface of the water, knee deep. And I asked, where are you going? That person said, I'm going to Bhavanipur. And I said, how are you walking on water? And he said, oh, there is a bridge underneath. Then I said, will you take me? He said, follow me. And my dream broke, M said. Sri Ramakrishna says, oh, hearing your dream, the hairs on my body are standing erect on their end. And it's so wonderful dream. Have some initiation. This is a sign for you to take spiritual life sincerely. Perhaps till then he didn't have initiation from Sri Ramakrishna. After that he might be. But this dream was visitation. Sri Ramakrishna could tell this. So dreams sometimes are very meaningful. Sometimes it's just imagination. And he says, how do you understand whether it is visitation or it is imagination? And Swami Virajananji said, when it is visitation, when it is adesha or it's a commission, divine commission, then you have no doubt that there is commission. Swami Ashokanandaji, who was the founder of he was in this, who developed our San Francisco Center, he in dream got mantra from Swami Vivekananda himself. He had never seen Swami Vivekananda. Now, he had so much of reliance on the truth that it was the initiation by Swami Vivekananda. It was no dream. It was real visitation, real adesha. And then he said to other brother disciples like Swami Brahmananda, Swami Shivananda, and when they heard the mantra and the way it was done, they said, yes, it is true. It is not a mere dream through thought. How Swami Ashokananda could relate that and was so confident? Because this type of dreams are not dream alone. The person who had this visitation understands and feels that it is true. He is seeing it. It is not mere dream that we see in the dream like that. So here Swamiji says, when you will have adesha or something in the dream, it will be beyond your thoughts. This one, number 48. Some receive a mantra in dreams, but in many cases such a mantra is found to be not one as enjoined by the Shastras, but one that is born of one's own imagination or leanings. If, however, one goes on steadfastly practicing japa of that mantra with firm faith, realization may come from that also in course of time. So like that, the mantra received by Swami Ashokananda was a real visitation. Even if it's imagination, if you get mantra, good mantra, that may have some effect, but it won't be as effective as the real mantra got from the Guru. Now about meditation, we all know a Guru has said how to meditate. Swami Virajananji has to say, number 50. While you meditate, forget self-identification with the body. That is to say, give up the idea that you are this body. Think yourself to be of the nature of the subtle entity upon which the consciousness of aham or I-ness, that is the idea of I and mine, is superimposed. And think of the chosen ideal as of the nature of unconditioned consciousness, ever pure, ever free, and self-luminous, bereft of all limiting adjuncts. Think while meditating that He, as pure consciousness, is pervading your ego consciousness, and yourself, the ego consciousness, is within Him, the pure consciousness. In reality, you are of the same essence as He. The difference is only in the degree of manifestation. All this requires spiritual practice for its true understanding and cannot be conveyed in words. Jiva, the individual soul, is the self in bondage, and Shiva, the pure spirit, is the self without bondage. No difference between Jiva and Shiva, that's what it is said. While sitting for meditation, the next paragraph, direct the train of your thoughts as follows and pray. O Lord, from the ultimate standpoint, I am of the same essence as Thee. This miserable plight of mine is the result of my being bound by Maya or illusion, and deluded by a sense of me and mine, of identifying myself with the body, and of my being a slave to evil thoughts, evil desires, and evil tendencies. Thus, O Lord, I have become afflicted with sickness, sorrow, misery, wretchedness, fear, and restlessness, have become mean, low, and impure, and subject to death, and to the tyranny of worldly objects. I am helpless. resourceless, destitute, small, weak, and worthless. Be thou kind to me, O Lord, out of thy infinite mercy, and destroy all my sins, faults, wants, and miseries, root and branch, so that I may awaken the infinite power which is lying dormant and lifeless within me, so that I may realize thy ever true nature, so that I may realize that which is my true nature, the eternal, ever pure, ever free, ever luminous. Beautiful prayer, as you find in the Gospel also, there is a Master's prayer, this is also beautiful prayer. Why Swami Virajanandaji says oneself to think he is lowly and meek? Jesus said, those who are meek, they shall attain the kingdom of heaven. So, to feel yourself helpless is conquering of your ego and arrogance. And this feeling that I am helpless, I can do nothing without help, this feeling makes your ego, which is like a mound of earth, go away, and there is hollow created. And when hollow created, only there the grace of God can accumulate. Sri Ramakrishna always says, be a hollow like a bowl, and there the grace when falls, it will collect, and only then it will work. Otherwise, all grace will fall and go away, because where will it collect? You have so much of pride and arrogance. Oh, I know, I learn. But be lowly and meek and think yourself to be helpless, and then only you will find this thing. Beautiful prayer here, the Swamiji said. So there are like that, there are so many advices Swamiji gives. One is about the posture, how we should sit. You all know this, but let me read it again. How we should sit in the prayer. If you are not able to practice japa and meditation seated in the prescribed posture for long periods in the morning and evening, you may do so at other times also, seated or resting in an easy posture, or even reposing in bed if you are not well. Or you may practice sitting up in bed in the small hours of the morning, if you do not feel tired or sleepy. But usually the mind is brought under control much better if japa and meditation are done properly on a seat, according to the usual directions. You can also practice mentally repeating the mantra without keeping count of the number, while walking, traveling in a conveyance, or doing some work in the way of remembrance or recollection of God. But do not meditate at this time, for there is a risk of accident if you are unmindful of your surroundings. Time is invaluable, life is short and uncertain. Do not waste a single moment. That's what I was saying. We can do japam any time. Sri Chaitanya said there is no time or place limited where you can remember God. Anywhere you can remember God. Any time you can remember God. If there is no time for sitting in the right posture, remember Him while lying down. But the main thing is you have to remember. You can remember while walking, while driving. But he says don't meditate while driving because you will meet an accident. While walking also, don't try to close your eyes and meditate. What will happen if you close eyes while driving? Oh, Swami said, Virajanandaji told, always remember God. I was thinking, remembering God, and then this happened. So all blame will be Virajanandaji's. Then you will try to sue Virajanandaji. He said that and I was doing. He has clearly said don't meditate when you are walking or driving, but remember the presence of God and repeat the name of God. That itself is the doing thing. We'll have one more reading and then we'll close. Number 66. What you intensely desire, you are sure to get. If you really want God, you will find Him. If you pray to Him for worldly enjoyment, you will have that instead. But for either, you have to work. Nothing can be acquired without toil and travail. What untold hardships people undergo for gaining worldly ends. They vigorously strive day and night with body, mind and soul, even foregoing food or sleep for the sake of wife and children, for money and property, and possessions, for name and fame. There is no respite even for a moment, no escape, yet they do not get all they want, for there is no end of their hopes and desires. If you could strive in that way for God, you would surely realize Him. Rejecting gold and jewels, we are satisfied with bits of glass. We receive blows again and again, yet we are not brought to our senses. Such is the illusion of Mahamaya, mother of cosmic illusion. Realization of God is difficult, but it can become easy when a new turn or direction is given to the trend or tendency of the mind, and it is wholly directed towards it. But he alone can do this, upon whom the grace of the Mother descends. So one priest was giving a sermon like this, and it was, as you know, people are tired. They came, and grandmother came with her grandson, and they were sitting in the corner. The grandmother tired in the old age, and after he started for a few minutes, then grandmother was dozing. After that, she fell asleep. After some time, she started snoring. Then the priest was looking and seeing that she's dozing, she's sleeping, and she's snoring. After that, he said, when he found her sleeping, then he said to the child, "Can you wake her up?" Child says, "No, you made her sleep, now you wake her up." Like that was the thing. So I'm to so that Yogatmanji doesn't say to that man. That's why I wanted to say this joke for you, so that we are awake. Thank you very much.
This is time to ask questions. Yeah, that is why he stopped half an hour before. So that you can stand and they can ask questions. Yes.
Ask for both of us are there to answer your questions. So Swamiji will come and reply nicely. So, yeah, no, Swami.
No, he will be answering.
No, we'll do both. Both we'll do. We'll do both.
For his satisfaction, I am also holding.
No, I'll request you, Swamiji, which question you will answer.
Swamiji, you wanted to tell the story of the king and the 4 wives.
Yes, one story was the king and the 4 wives. A king had 4 wives, and he was very happy. He loved the 4th wife very much, and he didn't care for the 1st wife at all. The 2nd and 3rd were also neglected. The 1st wife he never cared at all. The 4th wife, he thought, loves him very much, will never leave, and finally, in that lot of happy, pleasurable moments in life, he slowly grew old. Now the death was imminent. Then he was afraid, he had to leave everything, so he will have to go alone. Then he asked he had sure confidence that 4th wife will not leave him because he loved him very dearly, like himself. He used to love his 4th wife like he loved himself. And he goes to his 4th wife and says, "Now the time I have to die, so I hope you will come with me. I am scared to go alone. Will you accompany me?" The 4th wife says, "No way I will accompany you. You have to have your own choice. You have to go by yourself." So he's very shocked. King was very shocked. How is that? I loved her so much like myself. I treated her when she ate, I thought I was eating. When I decorated her, I thought I was decorating myself. Like that, I treated her like my own self, and she is betraying me this way. She will not go when I die. He was very shocked. Then he went to his 3rd wife, and he asked her, "Will you go with me when I am dying?" She says, "No, I will not go with you. Rather when you die, then I will get remarried to someone else." He was very, "What is this? I loved her like so much, and she will go to other person when I die." She was very, very shocked. He went to then the 2nd wife and said, "Perhaps she will listen to me." And he goes there and asks, "Will you go after I die? Because my 4th and 3rd wife rejected and refused. I'm very shocked and it was beyond my expectation. I loved them so much." And she says, no, I can go only up to the grave, and then I have to say you goodbye, you remain immortal like that, goodbye forever. Then I will not go beyond that." He was very sad. He didn't go even to the 1st wife, whom he had neglected so much. But his 1st wife, when he came, he comes to her husband and says, "You are going to die, don't worry, I will go with you." He was surprised, whom he never thought. He had forgotten the existence of first wife. And that was so kind, he's ready to go with him when he dies, not departing. He was very surprised. So this is the story is an allegory. And these 4 wives was not with that king, but it is with everyone. Men and women, all have these 4 wives. What are the 4 wives? The 4th wife is our body. So that we love like ourselves, as if that are we. We feed it and we feel that I am eating. We clothe it, I am decorated. We feel that one with him. But how long does it last? When we die, just gone, separated. It doesn't go at all. The 3rd wife in this story is our wealth and possessions. So money. So how long they last with us? And what happens after we die? He said, I will get remarried, I will get another person to go with. So after we die, all the money goes to some other person. It doesn't remain there. So that is the 3rd wife. The 2nd wife said, I will go up to the graveyard and say bye and goodbye forever. The 2nd wife is our relatives and friends, whom we consider they are very our own, never to be separated. And how much they can do? They will go to the grave and put there, and they says, forever you rest in peace. That's what they say. The 1st wife, who we never thought, is our conscience, our soul, our good deeds. That we often don't care. We forget about our own conscience, our own soul, that there is something called soul which never separates from us. From life to life, it moves with us, and that is the thing we need to take care, forgetting which we are thinking we are very happy. So remember the thing that is permanent with you, our all good deeds, good karmas, that are the things that will guide you and always go with you. Even bad karmas also go with you. That's the thing. Not only the good karmas, bad karmas also go with you. But there is always a conscience in us, which always says, maybe in a feeble voice, don't do that, that is not good. You don't listen in your arrogance and in the impulse that you get for the bad things, and you start doing bad things. So these good things, good conscience always remains with us and guides us from life to life. So we need to take care of that feeble voice, that faint vision which comes and guides us. And if we could do that, we'll be very happy in life. And all transitory things, ever-changing things, they just move from one stage to another, even in this life, and holding on to that as permanent, we can never be permanently happy. Time being temporarily, transitorily, we are pleased, but we need to hold on to something permanent, something doesn't end, something that is our true nature. And that, going deeper and deeper, we go beyond body, beyond mind, beyond intellect, and we go catch hold on our own Atma, which are we, which is never separated from us, because we are one with that. We are the Atma, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. That Chidananda Rupa thing should never be forgotten. That's the story is. Thank you.
Any other question?
So, Swamiji, you said that if we dream about God, we should talk to anyone else that is Guru. So, is it okay to talk to someone that think that he's not really our Guru, but also we think that he's wise?
Of course, we can talk with the person. Guru here means that someone who loves you unselfishly, who always takes care of your goodwill. There is no other motive at all. That is the position that it can give. What happens when you talk about some dream? People just may make fun of you and you feel bad. And also it loses its power. If it is with you, then it becomes strong and it remains. We are very weak people. When we hear some negative comment, then we tend to think that, oh, it was not really good. And we tend to be affected by the comments of that person, who may try to his or her own vision or her thought, she might try to influence us, which may not be true. So always we can share our dreams and very deep thoughts to the person who is wise and who we know is very unselfish and will guide us for our good. Surely you can do that. When Swahanandaji came to Toronto, he gave initiation. That time I didn't give it, and he gave initiation. And he lives in California. Toronto is 5 hours flight from there. And he said to his disciples, "I am your guru, no doubt, but he is your upaguru. So if you have any problem, talk with this Kripamayananda." So that's how the things go on. We have guru, like President Maharaj. We take initiation, and as brahmachari we go to our center. How much interaction we have with the presidents of the order? Very, very lesser than the devotees. But whoever sits in the place of president becomes like our guru. So the wise person doing good to the world, who is very unselfish, he becomes takes the position of our guru. After all, the guru is God, and God flows from whoever the God flows, the wisdom flows, he is guru or she is guru.
Yes, any other question? Tyler, you want to ask something?
Yes.
The path to self-realization, different people use it in different ways. How does one know that one is on the right path?
So question was the path to self-realization, which is right path for me, how do I know? So whatever you feel comfortable, because you see it's according to our tendency, whatever feels. Some like the path of devotion because they have a lot of love in them and emotional by nature. For them the path of devotion is there. They will worship God, they will think of God, they will try to meditate on God with form or formless. But there is a lot of this love-like thing is there. Some other have a lot of working tendencies. They will come to the center and say, they won't go and pray and sit and meditate. They say, Swamiji, is there some work to do? That is their thing. They just want and seek work. Whatever is to be done, you ask me anything to do, that I will do. That is the path for those people. They are working people. They just want to work, clean washrooms, do vacuum, clean plates, everything they will do, and that becomes their spiritual practice. That is the karma yoga. That is the tendency. They won't feel happy to sit and meditate for longer time. Some are there who want to have philosophical discussion that this body is unreal, this world is unreal, impermanent, like that. This impermanent thing is all jnana yoga thing. For devotee, you don't have to think about the impermanent. This world is real. God is in the world. There is God, and I want to see God. World is real in the sense it's not like a dream that doesn't exist, but this world is created by God and God is here playing very much. I want to love that God, and God resides in everyone's heart, and I want to love every human being. That is the attitude of a bhakta. And the jnani says, oh, this is a dream, nothing to be taken care of, nothing to be affected by that. I am Atma, I am not affected. Why should my mind be affected? Like that, the attitude of a jnani. So it depends on what type of attitude you have, that becomes your path. And after all these paths should be taken together. Not that if you are a jnani, you don't do meditation at all. If you are a bhakta, you will not do meditation at all. You just cry in front of the photo of the image or symbol. That is not the right thing. You need to have emotional attachment to your chosen ideal. And also you need to work something for the selfless work in office, do something for other without any thought of return, something helping others. So this and also think that this world is really for 2 days. After that we have to leave this world, it's not permanent. So taking all together, whatever is your tendency, do all, but focus on the particular that type. That's what they say. Most of the people are of devotional temperament. This love is in everyone. In fact, all 4 propensities, tendencies are everyone. Everyone is active, wants to work, has some emotion, have some intellectual thought, and also can concentrate on it. So all these 4 faculties are in every person. So all 4 faculties have to be utilized and directed towards God realization. Among them, these 4, some may be your thing and you may like to do that more. So you want to pray more, one person wants to meditate more, another person wants to work more, like that. According to that, we choose our path. But all this help, this some do not like ritualistic worship at all, you see. So it doesn't matter. So what Swamiji said, read books. And for that, holy company is prescribed for everyone. That you must be in touch with the person who, by his experience, who has something to speak. And it's not only speaking, being with that person and little conversation, it will just clear. So depends on the positive vibration that person has. Even being near that. Shankaracharya, such a jnani, he says that, oh, there's a strange scenery I saw, that there is a teacher seated and the students are all around, and the teacher was not speaking at all. He was just sitting. And students had the questions, but all those questions were being asked without being speaking. So the teacher was quiet, students were quiet, and all the doubts and the doubts were being dispelled, and questions were being answered without being spoken. That's how it happens. This holy company is very important. In all pages of gospel, you see, have a holy company. That you need a person which has this positive attitude and experience, and that is the real help. That is to be sought. When person is not found, something could be found in books. Later, it become living to a person. When you read Swami Vivekananda's works, Swami Vivekananda becomes living in these printed works, with black ink upon the white paper. It becomes, his thought becomes living. It won't be like coming to Swami Vivekananda, definitely not. But you find something of that vibration coming there. So holy person, if you don't get real living human being, you go through that person's thoughts. And that will also be holy company. Even among us, we have the devotees. Sri Ramakrishna always encouraged to be with the devotees. And when with the devotees talk about God, that he also always said to Narendranath and said to others, go and meet Narendranath. He's there, he's a very nice person. Say someone, he said, go and meet Mahendranath, that Yam. Always he said that be in association with each other. That all is holy company. So holy company is very important, along with whatever Guru has said. If you are initiated, then mantra is very, very important, easy thing to do. That will all take you towards the supreme goal.
Just to amplify a little bit on that,
I will narrate you one example that is given by a saintly person when talking about this idea that we have many different ways, like the way through the action, through devotion, through purifying our intellect or jnana yoga, as well as the path of meditation. He said that there should be balance in this, like the balanced diet you have to take. There is, everybody needs some carbohydrates, some proteins, some fats, and some fiber and other things, vitamins and such things. Everybody needs. Now we have to take a balanced diet, but the requirement varies from person to person. A person doing lot of physical work has to take more carbohydrates. The one who is not doing that much of the physical work will have to have less carbohydrates, depending on constitutions and the other physical issues. The diet needs to have different combinations. But there is very rarely a person who will require only carbohydrates or only proteins or only vitamins. Very rare people. So we all need Ambali need. Is it helpful? It is. We all need a balance of all these different ways of enriching our spiritual practices. By all these different paths, we have to kind of integrate it. So somebody used to speak about integrated yoga. Like you integrate in your diet, you integrate all these things and then eat it. So integrated yoga, that you have a harmonious blend of all different yogas in life.